Hey guys, welcome to another Mind Right Monday. I'm Bonnie Kelly. This week we're going to talk about 3 tips to help you enhance your gratitude practice. Hi guys, welcome to another Mind Right Monday. I'm Bonnie Kelly. So today we're talking about the 3 tips to how you can enhance your gratitude practice. Now, if any of you are listening to this, you're probably a personal development junkie like me. And when I call a personal development junkie, I always say if you got more than 20 or 30 personal development books on your bookshelf, you may be a junkie. And that's awesome because you're growth-minded, you're opportunity-minded. You want to learn and evolve and be the best you that you can possibly be. And that is my kind of person. So you're probably no stranger to the attitude of gratitude practice, and hopefully it is a part of your everyday. If not, that's pretty common because we get so caught up into the mundane, day-to-day, in and out routine that is our lives. And because we're such creatures of habit, it's so easy to get sucked into that vortex, and it is even more easy to start getting into a rut of negative thinking or complaining. And so today I want to talk about 3 tips to help you re-engage and re-enhance that attitude of gratitude practice. And so let's get right into it with my first tip, which is acknowledge the ick, but don't dwell in it. Yeah, this is a big one. A lot of times when we're in that personal development space, we think that we can't even acknowledge that icky things or junky things are happening to our lives. But that's not realistic. And when we go into that state of denial, a lot of times that's going to perpetuate that ick even further, or it's going to cause it to ooze over into these other spaces. We really need to get into a habit of acknowledging the ick. But the difference is acknowledge without dwelling in it. You don't want to jump in and just have it all consuming. Recognize that things maybe aren't ideal right now. They're not maybe the best place for you or where you want your life to be. However, you got to know that is kind of a part of life. That ick is what gives us, that context to all the joy and purpose and passion and love, which I know you enjoy. But without knowing the ick, we don't get to really truly appreciate all the glory and the beauty that's around us. So acknowledge the ick, but just don't get hung up in it. Don't deny it. Just acknowledge and move beyond. All right, so this leads me to my second tip, which is going to jump right on and piggyback with number 1, which is recognize the only constant is change. Now, this is no new phrase, and again, most of you have probably heard this, that the only constant is change. However, when we think about at those adversities or those ick moments, we have to recognize that they're temporary. But so are the awesome, monumental, epic moments in our life. Not either one is going to be consistent all the time. We can't always be in this perfect bubble, and we can't always be in this ick bubble. Now, if we get caught into either one of those extremes, usually over here with that extreme optimism, we're denying and not dealing with, and we're not coping with a lot of the controversy that comes into our existence or into our lives. And on the other end of that spectrum, when we're over here only dwelling in the ick and the nasty and the hardships, then we're not recognizing or we're not appreciating the joy when these moments do come. And so we really want to be kind of ebbing and flowing between them and really get yourself into this place of being grateful for this, which gives you context for this. So it's just about visiting both, acknowledging that these things are real, right? That the struggle is real, but really don't dwell in it, right? Like number 1, and choose to be over here and recognize that all of this is temporary. And when you realize that, you can quickly snap back into that place of feeling grateful and that place of just gratitude and joy, and realize that this really is a beautiful space. Even though it doesn't feel great, it really does enhance our life in some way. All right, so now let's talk about the third one, which is find the good in everything. And again, these are all piggyback on each other, but it's really going to help you enhance your gratitude practice. Is that if you start practicing to finding the good in all situations, and what I mean by that is ask yourself, what are 3 great things that could result from this? Just by asking yourself that, even if it's meaning that you got fired or that somebody broke up with you. to ask yourself, what is 3 good things that could result from this? And think outside the box. It doesn't have to be absolute truth, and it doesn't have to necessarily be reality. But you just want to get into the practice of finding the good in all situations, and even if that good is just a lesson. Now, let me do a disclaimer. The only time where this might not be necessary or might not be helpful tip is if you're dealing with grief. Now, grief is a completely different topic, and that's one we did a video on a few months ago. I had Cassandra Sullivan as a guest on sharing her personal story, but it really is, it's a little bit of different. Grief is something that you have to be willing to move through, and a lot of times that takes time. So just recognize, I want to make that disclaimer right there because I know we'll get some comments on that. But it is important for your practice to try to start getting into the habit of finding good things in all situations. Even the good things, start practicing what are 3 good things that could result from this. Hopefully this has helped you, and it's going to lead me to this week's tweetable, which is, if you look hard enough, there is always a reason to be grateful. All right, guys, so practice that attitude of gratitude. Hopefully this is a reminder to get out there and be grateful. Be grateful for the ick and be grateful for the good, because all things in this life is what molds and shapes this beautiful, mucky reality that all of us exist in together. And if you practice that enough, you really are going to be filled with this sense of joy, filled with this sense of gratitude and purpose and patience. All right, guys, don't forget to email us all your personal development questions at getinspired@bonniekelly.me. And don't forget to tweet, fan, friend, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. We are here for you every step of the way. I am so grateful that I have a very healthy, vibrant cat. Okay, until next week, guys, I'm Bonnie Kelly. Make it a great day.